Welcome to The Ticket, the podcast where customer support leaders share insights on the future of customer service, support, and customer experience. I'm your host, Ruth O'Brien, Senior Director of Automated and Proactive Support here at Intercom. Today, I'm joined by an Intercom power user, Sam Miller, Customer Support Operations Manager at Dental Intelligence. Sam has a reputation as a bot wrangler and automation expert, using Intercom's tools to streamline workflows, enhance efficiency, and scale support. He's seen firsthand how AI and automation are replacing customer support. And today, we're diving into how Dental Intelligence has leveraged these innovations to deliver seamless customer experiences. Welcome to the show, Sam.
Glad to be here.
So before we get into the nitty-gritty of automation and AI, can you tell us a little bit about Dental Intelligence and your role there? Your LinkedIn bio includes the term bot wrangler, which I love. I want to add that to my title now. But if you could tell us a little bit about that, that would be great.
Yeah, so Dental Intelligence is the only full practice performance software in the dental market. So we help doctors with understanding their practice performance, engaging with customers at scale, and we work with insurance, doing forms and stuff like that. So very full scale there for dentist offices. And then my role there is our support operations manager. So I like to think of it as the backbone of the support team, the ones that's there to make it easier for them. So our company mission is to make it more fulfilling to be a dental professional and easier to be a patient. I think my job mission is to make it more fulfilling to be a teammate and easier to be a customer.
Nice. I love that.
Then the bot wrangler came as I got more and more into Intercom, just using all of the automations and AIs and making sure that they are doing the work that we don't need to be doing, and ensuring that we're constantly keeping those updated and maintained.
Nice. And can you tell me a bit about the wrangler side of things? Because as somebody who works for Intercom, I'm hoping that it doesn't need too much wrangling anymore.
Yeah.
To use
Well, no. The wrangling comes when we want to make a change inside, right? So if we decide, hey, we no longer need to track that data point, how do I go in and adjust those bot flows so that we can get the data points we need? If we're introducing a new feature, how do we make sure that it is up to date so it can provide the best answers, and using the most current content? It is very simple. The Wrangler came back, a couple of years ago and just kept it.
Yep. Good. Hopefully it's going to get easier and easier and there'll be less wrangling as time goes on. So you shared previously that Dental Intelligence has experienced really rapid growth. Um, how did that impact your customer support strategy? Like, were things different? Like, were things a bit quieter and then stuff ramped suddenly? Like, I'd love to just hear a little bit about that journey. And then, like, what were some of the challenges you faced before implementing automation and AI?
Yeah, so it definitely has been a steady growth, but it's been a fast, steady growth. So it's been about 30% year over year. And so we've been trying to keep up without increasing our spend. We've actually been able to maintain our volume while that are going to humans, while still seeing the expected volume from 30% growth inside of support. So right now we've maintained our human answer rate by using Fin and other automations that we have, like custom actions and ticketing and workflows that can help provide those answers. So even though we've added 2,500 conversations per month to our count, that's all being handled by Fin. So we're staying really steady at our 9 to 10,000.
Amazing. So what's coming through to humans now? You said that stayed about the same, and then Fin and automations are taking care of so much more. But what sort of work are the humans doing now?
Yeah, it's a really great question. It's especially interesting in our market, working with dental professionals. They aren't always the most technically sound. You have a very wide range of demographics that you're supporting, and we have a very complicated, intense software. So if you have somebody that isn't used to this sort of technology, it's providing that one-on-one experience to make sure that they're still successful, even if they don't have it as much experience. So we still do a lot of that one-on-one training, kind of guiding them through being there to be there, like um, almost customer success in that aspect. but then we do get a lot more complicated stuff coming through, right? So people with one-off issues, very complex, like how do I get it to work in this specific workflow? If I do this, what is expected there? So that's more so what we're seeing, but we do still have those nice building like the customer success where you can really build up that reputation with the customer.
I love that. Like something we often say here at Intercom is that customer support and customer success are really going to blend in the future, because that classic sort of volume based, like just answer and move on type of work is, I mean, that's being taken care of by AI agents like Finn now, right? So the role of the support person is to be, like you said, like more consultative, trying to help out build those relationships. So the lines between those kind of two different orgs, for us anyway, that existed, like they're definitely blurring, and it's something that we're trying to figure out over time.
Yeah, me and my senior director of support here, we had a conversation a couple of weeks ago. We said, are we product support or are we customer support? And to us, product support is how do I use it? What is this a bug? Is this the way it's working? You just getting in and out fast and quick and not providing value necessary to the customer. Whereas customer support is, yes, this is how you do it, and here are the next three things that you're probably going to need to do to ensure that you're using it properly. So being more advanced in that support, and with Finn, we're able to use the same spend and get the product support taken care of by Finn, and really start leaning into that customer support mindset of ensuring that they're being successful with our product.
Yeah, I love that. And it really just, I mean, it elevates the role of a customer support professional as well, right? Like they don't want to be dealing with like FAQs over and over again. They actually want to be doing meaningful work. You don't get into this line of business unless you like working with people, right?
Right.
Yeah, like I just love to see that automation and AI is actually enabling what so many people wanted to do with their support roles in the first place. So to go back to the challenges side of things, what were there any struggles when you got going with implementing automation and AI?
Yeah, yeah. We have multiple products, right? And when you have multiple products, it's how do you teach the bot to know which product the customer is talking about? So if the customer just comes in and sends an email and says, how do I create a user? Are they creating a user in product A or product B or product C? And do they even have permissions to do it in either of those, you know? And so that was kind of the hard part for us, was how do we give the AI the information it needs on the interaction so that it can provide the best answer. So it was doing a lot of the triaging and stuff beforehand going in.
Interesting. And have you seen that you've had to maintain that or keep it up? Is it one and done? Just curious what your process is now for making sure that that still serves the purpose that you need it to do.
Yeah, so we got it up and running. We are going to be iterating on it. You guys have new features coming out that'll help us utilize the information that they're providing, as well as some other background information, to make it a lower effort for our customers. So right now we have them kind of self-selecting those main questions or main points that we need to know. And we're really looking forward to being able to say, hey, based on the context, based on where you're logged in at, what you wrote in that message, you probably are referring to this conversation or to this product. So we're going to use that information to provide it. So we're looking forward to doing, um, really breaking down the customer effort needed.
Yeah, we're doing something similar on our team at the moment where we're trying to replace all the like button clicks.
Yeah.
We found that after a certain number of clicks, customers get upset. Like I get upset when I have to do that as a customer, right? And we're trying to make it more conversational and use some of our new AI features to make it like a really conversational back and forth where the customer doesn't have to do a lot to actually get to where they need to go or get the information that they need or pass to the right team.
Yeah.
So yeah, great to hear when our customers are looking at doing that too.
Yeah. Really excited for it.
So, um, we Intercom published our customer service transformation report recently. And some of the stats that were shared there were that 76% of support teams invested in AI last year, and 79% plan to do that in 2025. So this year and the months ahead. But I'm curious what your initial reaction was to integrating AI into your support workflows. I think like you were one of those sort of pioneers in this space, right? You got going really early on this. Like you said, we chatted a couple of years ago when things were just like getting moving here. But yeah, can you tell me like how you felt about it initially and if your team like loved it or didn't love it, how you brought them through that? Would love to see hear a bit more there.
I'm full into uh, taking off the things that don't provide value to our customers, right? If I'm just enabling something in the back end that a bot could be doing for me, like I don't want to be doing that. That's just always been my mindset. And so I don't think we had a lot of pushback from utilizing the feature. I think where our concerns came from was how is our data going to be used by AI, especially being in the health industry? You have to be really careful with patient information and PII, and so we that's where we were most nervous. It did take us a while to get our security team to approve it and to really buy into it from there. But once we did, they're full steamed ahead. They see the value. We haven't had any issues whatsoever. So we continue to grow and to expand using AI. Um, and then for our teammates were fully bought in. I mean, you show them, hey, you guys will no longer have to answer these sort of questions that me being in the front line, I also hate answering every single day. It just really showed them like, oh, this is allowing us to provide more value to work on the things that we want to work on and give us that opportunity for growth.
That's so cool. The results really speak for themselves, right? You know, if anybody's a bit skeptical and then they actually see the results in terms of automated, like Finn answering questions, resolving questions, and doing it really well with a really high quality, there's actually no arguing with that anymore. So I know that you have a resolution rate of 42%, right? But the goal was 35. So it sounds like you smashed the goal. What's driving that success? Like, what did you do to get there?
Yeah, our goal was 35% by the end of 2024. We hit it by the end of June.
Very nice.
Honestly, it was easier than we expected. That's what it comes down to. It was smarter. It was simple to set up. It was simple to review and make edits and make changes. We wanted to do a really slow rollout because we were nervous about the customer impact, kind of how they would think about it. We started going and customers were really enjoying it. They're really appreciating the fast answers and having that quick handoff time that we can get to a human. And then going from, 10-minute wait times because everyone is going to a human to now, hey, only those that need to go to a human are going. And now they're getting human responses in under 2 minutes. So they see the benefits of those quick answers. And I think that that's part of it. They know that it can help them with the quick answers and then get to a teammate when they can. So they trust the answers more than we expected them to.
Yeah, so many customers or like prospects that I speak to still worry about AI negatively impacting customer experience. And then others see it as an enhancement, or others who implemented it, even if they thought it was going to be negative before, realize that it's an enhancement. So it's like you're saying there, um, like answers are faster. If they're like FAQ type questions and now beyond, actually, they're getting just as high a quality of support from the likes of Finn, an AI agent, as they would do from a human. And then that frees up the human to deal with the more complex stuff faster as well. So yeah, like it's kind of a constant conversation that I'm having. I have this conversation with my friends as well. They're like, "Oh, bots." They're like, "I hate that." They got caught in all these endless bot loops with companies where they're a customer before, and I'm like, "No, there's a better way." So it sounds like that's been a similar experience for you all and your customers.
Yeah, you definitely it's that learning curve, right? There's that rule that it takes 7 times to make a new habit, right? And so you have that one bad bot interaction. We know it's going to take time for everyone to really start appreciating these for the answers that they can provide. But we do have customers that are full in. They love going in. They love we call our bot Dot. And they go in there like, we love Dot. Thank you for the answers. And we get some that are like, I just wish I could go straight to a human, but it's going to take time to get rid of all of those remarks. But we've even seeing as we're going through and scrubbing some of the answers, like Dot's providing better answers than some of our teammates were. And so we've actually taken Dot's answers and added them as macros, because like, this is really great. You guys never need to do this again. So that's been really cool too.
Yeah, like it's a conversation that we have on my team often, that sometimes we get conversations, sometimes it's actually more that I'm happy about. We get conversations through the humans and I look at it and Finn answers like it gave the right answer and the human just says the same thing, like in a, in a slightly different way, or just says the exact same thing. And it is like what you were saying, it's all to do with trust, where people, I think if they want to get straight through to a human, they're just like clicking through till they get there and not even really reading what like an AI agent is sending to them. So as support leaders, we actually do have a really big responsibility to fix that trust issue that's after happening in the world. Cause like the old bots were so bad. We really do have to make sure that these new AI agents, like we have to set them up well so that they are as great as they can be and build that trust back for folks who are like, just get me to a person.
That's actually one thing that we did when we launched. We trained up the team to go through and reread what Dot said. And if it was the correct answer, let them know, hey, Dot was actually correct here, but can I provide you some additional information? And then that kind of helped them confirm that, okay, this is accurate. This is a good answer.
Yeah. Sometimes where, in fairness, like, the AI agent gets it like almost probably a 99% right. And there's something on our end that we could change a little bit with like some of our new functionality. And we learn for next time around, like just tweaking it slightly or like never use this term if somebody says X, and that would have made the interaction like just as good as a really excellent human interaction. But something else that we found, and I'm interested to hear your experience on about this as well, is that when we dug into of all of our human support conversations, how many of those are actually resolved? We're obsessed with like bots resolution rates, which we should be. But so many human conversations, like the quality mightn't actually be perfect, or it's not resolved because it's an issue that's just ongoing troubleshooting forever, forever trying to figure out what's going on there. But we just have this like, or like a society anyway, I think has this much higher tolerance for humans making mistakes than bots making mistakes. And I'm just wondering, is that similar for your customers, or when when your team are handed over something from Finn and they're like, yeah, why is this after landing with me?
Yeah, I think when you get a bot, you want it to be perfect, right? Because there's so much more that can go wrong if a bot goes wrong. And who do you blame if the bot goes wrong, So you have to have it right. Whereas a human, you know, we're we make mistakes. We need to learn and continue to grow. And I think people understand that. And we sympathize with that a lot more than we do with a bot. So definitely times where, yeah, you get it 90% of the way, or it answered the question as best as possible to maybe not the best worded question. And if it's not, understanding exactly what, then, and needing to, we see it a lot with, clarifying questions. So if the customer puts in a bad question and it's like, well, are you talking about this or that? Then it starts getting really frustrated. Whereas if a human had done that, they're very understanding, like, okay, we can do a couple of these questions and understand a little bit better. So yeah, we definitely see that here.
Yeah, it does. It comes back to that piece again, though, doesn't it? About like over time, people are going to get more used to this being the way, and then the AI agents are going to get better, or we're going to program them better to like really quickly, ask those follow up questions, or just like kind of read between the lines in a way that they haven't been able to do as much before. And that's starting to be more possible now too, with various ways of using something like we have called Fin guidance around, if the customer calls the feature this, they probably mean this other thing, and actually been able to make those little tweaks to hopefully make that interaction a bit more seamless for the customers in future.
Yeah, we actually did something when we launched. I saw it in a support community where they had created a dictionary of all of their terms and stuff, and then kind of correlating terms. And we've been able to keep that up to date. And it's did the same sort of thing at guidance, where if they say this, they mean this. And then you can just keep using the same term and you know exactly what it means. So if we have a PMS, a practice management system that we integrate with, right? There's a bunch of different ones, and it knows that if they say one of these names of these PMSs, anywhere in our help-based articles, just replace it with the name of theirs, and it provides an even more custom tailored experience.
I love that. And that's going to keep building that trust, right?
Mhm.
So tell me, moments where human agents are still essential.
Oh
I
my
feel
God.
like there are, but like, what do you think?
Well, there definitely are. I love a personal touch at the beginning of a customer's journey, making sure that we're really hands-on there, making sure we're building that trust. During major outages, if you have a big frustration going on, making sure that the words are coming from a human and not from your bot. Even if you're sending it, to everyone all in one big message, if it's coming from Sam Miller, it's going to sound a lot better than if it's coming from Dot. So making sure that you're there at those crucial touch points. Um, if if you're having multiple issues, some point, if you have one issue and it goes through Doc, cool. If you have two, three, four, then you start saying, okay, maybe we should just get a human on here and show them, hey, provide that almost management. The skill sets that we're finding a lot for our, we call them our senior support specialists. They're more of like our advanced teammates. Really, we're looking for like project management skills. Like, can you come in with this customer that has a bunch of complex issues and, it's in product A, B, and it's working with this third partner and kind of controlling that. That's where a human's really needed. Um, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And like those kind of more emotional conversations, I suppose if somebody's like getting quite upset, especially if they have multiple issues, just knowing that they're talking to a person, yeah, that can still really make all the difference. So like for your customers, do you think that their expectations have changed now in terms of the support that you'll provide to them?
That's a good question. I see it changing a little bit, but I do think that we're still looking at chat support. We're very heavy on phone support. And I don't think we'll ever get rid of that just with the demographic that we serve. Again, these people are going to school and getting really technical degrees in health sciences, and they may not have the computer skills or the IT skills that they'll need to utilize the software. And so we want to be able to still provide that personal experience there. So I don't think we'll ever get rid of humans in our area, and I don't want to because I want us to be a personal business, even though we are SaaS based, being still connecting to it because at the end we are humans helping humans just through software.
Especially when I think about who your customers are, they are humans helping humans. So they're obviously going to appreciate that from you too. So it makes complete sense. So some teams, I mean, it's really, really benefited you, right? Blending that human side of things with AI and automation. But there's many teams who are still pretty hesitant about AI adoption for a myriad of reasons. So sometimes it's cost, sometimes it's integrations or team buy-in, or they think, again, it's going to be like a worse experience for their customers. What advice would you give to teams who haven't made that leap yet?
Yeah, start small and have faith yourself. As a leader, like if you believe that it will be positive and you're talking up and down your ladder of your teammates, you're talking to your CCO, you're talking to your CFO about the benefits to the business and you believe that it's the right move, they'll trust you. If you're talking to your teammates, talk to them about the benefits it will be giving them. Hey, you won't have to come in and answer 100 emails anymore. 25 of those are going to be taken off, and all you have to worry about are this section now. Yeah, they may be more complicated, but that allows you to really stretch yourself and grow and show what you've got, and be able to focus in on them. Uh, for us, when I started with the bot Wrangler, it was using automation to get data points. So that was a really great way for us to start because we were missing why are people coming into support where we could easily build a report and get that information out to our CCO. And so we started there. Doesn't impact our teammates, um, but they no longer had to, when they're closing out a conversation, tag it with a certain thing. The bots were doing it automatically for them. We're taking little things off their plate and showing how we're making the experience better. We're providing value upriver, we're providing value downriver. And then you just slowly grow on that little piece there.
I love that. That's something I often say to our customers if they're a bit hesitant, that you don't have to go all in on day one. You can test, you can iterate, you can pick certain customers to try it with or certain types of issues to try it with and build from there. So yeah, totally agree with that on like just start small and build. So looking ahead, where do you see AI taking customer support in the next few years? Any crystal ball moments from you?
Um, I think kind of what we talked about earlier, really reducing that customer effort score. Like, are they able to get in, just type out their question and get their answer? They don't have to, click 5 buttons to get to support. They don't have to select 3 different things in the triaging flow. They don't have to say, no, I'm talking about this and get routed to a different team, just really getting the right question to the right person at the right time is kind of our mantra right now. And that's where I see AI really helping to use those contextual clues in the first message they send to make sure that it's going to the right person, make sure we're giving them the right answer, making sure that we're tagging the information that we need in the back end. So that's where we're headed. A lot more into the understanding what's going on in the conversation and providing the attributes for it.
Yeah, and I think on the insight side of things, when something is wrapped up, using AI to get far more data points than we had available, or we'd have to like dig around looking for them. And now they're going to be like in the future, not too distant future, I would say, served up to us in these really helpful summaries, pointing out where we need to make improvements. That's like something that's coming soon, very, very soon, I think. And even when you were saying there about getting the conversation to the right person, maybe that person isn't like customer support and the AI agents aren't just support agents. They're again like success and they can take folks on a success journey or, potentially do some sales work with them and close deals. That I think that the possibilities are absolutely endless there. And it's definitely an exciting time to be part of this world. So for your support team, what's next? Any exciting innovations or experiments in the pipeline for dental intelligence?
Yeah, we're really leaning into getting rid of those initial buttons, making it so that it can be you click to talk to support, and all you do is you type your question, and we give you an answer. We get all the information we need. So that one's up next. We do want to roll out to emails. We've been a little bit hesitant on emails just because it's a very different customer experience, and we wanted to provide an opportunity for customers to reach out and get support without having to go through the bot. So, for those customers that don't trust the bot or they have that bad experience, we still wanted them to have an opportunity to. But we can't do that forever. We do want to expand so that everyone's seeing that bot experience. So I see email, and then eventually, hopefully, we can get it set up for phones as well. But I see that a little bit further down the lines.
Yeah, for email, I actually like again, I work for Intercom, but hands up, I felt a little bit skeptical about setting Fin live over email for similar reasons to yourself. I was like, it's a different channel, people ask questions a different way. But then when we did it, I was like, right, I shouldn't have been skeptical. It actually does an incredible job. Like we have excellent resolution rates there. And like it doesn't pretend to be a person. It's still like Finn answering the question. So I would recommend if that's in your on your roadmap for now, you can take it from me that it's actually it's still a pretty good, very good customer experience overall.
Good, good. I'll take that back with this.
Okay, I couldn't couldn't chat with a customer without plugging some features if you're not using them yet or not.
It's like the one feature we're not using of you guys.
Totally, totally fair. Thanks again for joining us and see you next time on The Ticket.